This month, I'm making a case for joining a group or starting a group. The power of a group is it's so different from one-on-ones. I mean, the one-on-one is so important, and there's something so powerful about all of our friends coming together or a group of people coming together for something. And we're seeing in research now that there's only a 50% chance that our two closest friends even know each other. We're getting to a place where we feel like we have more strings to different people than where we feel like we belong in a community. And that we need as well in our lives. And so this month I want to talk about why it might be worth leaning into, committing to, choosing to join or start a group. Here's 4 primary motivations. And I think this is almost more for those who want to start, because this we get to shape. We get to choose our motivation and create a group that's built around that. The number one is maybe the one that's a primary driver for many of us, and that is for our own relationships, for our own sense of belonging, for our own opportunity to build our friendships. And this is, I would guess that most of my closest friends now I met because at one point we were part of a group. We were part of a business mastermind. We were part of a women's small group. We were part of a girls social group. And so no matter what, those allowed us to create enough consistency where we were able to get to know each other and have a good time. Remember the 3 requirements of relationship: positivity, consistency, and vulnerability. And the group experience provided that for us without us having to initiate. And so that even when the groups ended, we had enough of a launch pad in our relationships to keep those going. Groups can be one of the most powerful ways for us to build our relationships. And it may not even be friendship. It might be that we're at a certain place in our career or having a certain experience in our lives where we know that being a part of a group that have that same shared identity or that same experience, whether it's for networking, for our career, or whether it's for our health and we're trying to survive something. There's something so powerful about doing it together that we see in the research makes a huge difference. And so for some of us, our primary motivation for starting a group will be because we want resonance. We want those relationships. We want that belonging. And that is a beautiful intention, and starting a group is one of the best ways, undoubtedly, to make that happen. The second powerful motivator for many of us will be the impact. So we may or may not want our own friendships to come from that or for our own resonance, but we're here on this planet to have impact. We're coaches, we're experts in different areas. We are counselors, maybe a medical professional, a healer, and we are doing so much of our work one-on-one, but we know that we're answering the same questions over and over. We know that if we gathered you together, you could learn from each other, you could encourage each other, we could teach with more impact, we could do live coaching where we can somebody can learn from the other person. We know that by pulling people together and doing our work, the impact is multiplied. And so for some of us, my invitation to you is, are you at a place in your career and a place in your work where you're ready to say, I want to gather other people? Not necessarily because I need friends, but because I want to be of service. I know that I have something to offer and I want to do it in a group. I want to do it in a community, whether it's virtual or real. I want to have impact, and I know that over time, my time is limited if I just do one-on-one. I can have more impact if I can do several at the same time. Some of us, similar to impact but different, is influence. We are here to guide, to teach, to inspire, and we know that to influence, it's powerful when we start pulling our community together. This one's been such an important part of my life and my work. If I write a book and somebody reads it, that's like a one-on-one experience, and I don't even always get that interaction with a reader of a book or somebody in a place where they're learning my work. But to suddenly pull them all together in a community like we have with Girlfriend Circles, for example, an online community where women are coming and they are sharing my work with each other, and they're sharing what it matters to them and what's working and what's not working, what their own experiences are. It increases my influence to have them knowing each other and teaching on my behalf and sharing and struggling with that and witnessing and kind of sharing, bearing witness to their own lives and how it's working for them. And it also provides me an opportunity to speak one to many, as opposed to just me to a book or me through an article or me to a video and not ever be able to get the feedback. Having a community allows me to get the feedback. It allows me to be a part of it. It allows me to be a part of the conversation. And I can either engage with them and I can watch them engage and learn from them. It becomes this like whole live organism that allows me to be a more powerful influencer. And some of us are at a place where we're ready to say, I want to have that. I want to be able to have a community that I can interact with immediately and have that feedback and that resonance in a larger way. Influence is a powerful way. We can't have influence without starting to have our people, like-minded people who all value the similar things, start coming together. And there's power there. There's so much power there. And I get so much inspiration and encouragement and validation and learning from being a part of that community. So maybe for some of you, you're an author, a teacher, somewhere, and you're a speaker, and you're saying, I want to start pulling my community together to have greater influence. And then there's a good motivation of abundance. For some of us, that looks like wealth. For some of us, that simply looks like better feedback, an abundance of support, an abundance of, I've been lately, like Girlfriend Circles is free now. It's a good example. And yet I have received so much compensation from that group in terms of like, thank you and gratitude and notes and seeing stories of friends meeting each other. And so I'm receiving so much abundance from that group, even though that one doesn't make me any money, costs me money. And yet there's other communities where it's so absolutely the right thing to do to say, this is an experience worth paying for. In my opinion, there is nothing, you wouldn't be surprised to hear me say this, nothing more valuable on this planet to be investing our money in than belonging, than in community, than in building relationships. We put our money into trinkets and to clothing and to gadgets, to learning how to do marketing and all kinds of things that we have told ourselves are important. And at the end of the day, we know that there is no direct correlation that the more clothes you have, the happier you are. The more trinkets you own, the healthier you are. We know that at the end of the day, what matters more than anything else is our relationships, our belonging, our sense of being supported and connected. And so if I were to put money into something, I would say that would be the most important thing in your life that you can charge for if you're creating that for somebody, and that you can be investing in if you're stepping into that. But to be able to absolutely receive abundance from saying, like, for example, if you're a coach and you're coaching one-on-one, but to be able to pull them together and give them a discount, it's a win for them, and you still earn more money by charging less, but you have more people in one with less time having to be put out. You can build online communities. You can run local events. You deserve to be compensated for this most precious, most valuable gift. Truly, we need more people in this world who are stepping up in service to give belonging and community and to receive that in every form back that you deserve it. I want to support community makers this year. That is what I'm doing. I am here to help train and to support and to equip those of you who are ready to, and this won't be everybody, this will be a small portion of you. Most people are out there just trying to survive. They're trying to get their own one-on-one friends and kind of barely having the time and energy for that. But there's some of you who are willing and ready to say, I want to be somebody who doesn't just find my community, but who helps create it, who wants to help make it for others. And if that's you, I enjoy and invite you to be a part of the Community Maker Circle, where we will talk about how to increase our own sense of relationship in those groups, where we will talk about how to increase our impact and talking about how to increase our influence and how to create our abundance. These groups have the power to do all of that and more, and the world desperately, loneliness epidemic desperately, needs us to be coming and offering this to the masses. Absolutely. We need more community, more groups, and we need more community makers.